Hello, Chickadees. We are doing a video class to send you guys for the other half of your choir practice for this week. We're going to play around with this, see how it goes. We can't wait until we can get together with you guys in person again and do these classes. All right, so in our choir classes that are on video, we're going to do a few things that are different, okay? We're going to teach you guys some stuff. Some of you already might know this, and this might be news to some of you, okay? The first thing that we're going to do is learn about some notes, okay? So, who can tell me what this kind of note is called? It's called a quarter note. Can you say that? Quarter note. And a quarter note has one beat, okay? This is called do you know? This is called a half note. And this note has two beats, okay? So it takes two of these to make one of these. And the last note we're going to talk about today is this. Who knows what this is called? This is called a whole note. This has four beats in it. And guys, it takes two of these to make one of these, and it takes four of these to make one of these, okay? So we have a quarter note, one beat, half note, two beats, whole note, four beats. We are going to go over this a few times in our class today. All right, something else that we're doing with our class today that's really cool is Mrs. Cook gave me this book, and it's called Why Beethoven Threw the Stew. And there's stories about composers in history. And there's a bunch of different composers in this book. And in our video classes, we are going to teach you about some of them, okay? So the first composer that we are going to talk about today, his name is Bach, okay? Can you guys say that? Bach? His whole name is Johann Sebastian Bach. And back then, you would have had to say the first two names because there was a lot of Bachs. But when you talk about composers now, pretty much everyone knows who you're talking about when you just say Bach, okay? All right, so I am going to read you a little bit about his life, and we're going to learn about him for a few classes, and then we're going to go on to a different composer and learn about them for a few classes. All right, so Johann Sebastian Bach. One thing that Bach loved was his family. He came from one of the most musical families of all time. His great-grandfather, Bach, was a baker who couldn't bear to be without his musical instrument. It was a very old sort of guitar called the cittern. He used to take it into his bakery and play away to his heart's content while the corn was being ground up to make bread. His two sons caught the music bug and passed it on to their children, who passed on to their children, and so on. Over the next 50 years or so, more than 75 Bachs became professional musicians. More than 50 of them were called Johann. That's why back then you would have had to say Johann Sebastian Bach, but not anymore. In the area where most of them lived, the word Bach actually came to mean musician. That's really cool. When our Bach, Johann Sebastian, was growing up, his whole family used to get together for enormous parties. They'd sing funny songs and would compose accompaniments to them as they went along. And they changed the words and the notes to make each other laugh, and they'd have a great time together. Wouldn't that be cool to have a family that were all musicians and you could learn so much from other people? Our Bach didn't do too badly in his contribution to the family. He had 20 children. Now, this was back in a time when not all children survived being really little, and that's different now, which is wonderful. But only half of his children survived to adulthood, okay? 3 of his sons became famous composers too, though. Bach had 2 wives, but not at the same time. He married Maria Barbara, and he was very happy with her, and they had 7 children together, but then she passed away. After a while, he got married again to a singer called Anna Magdalena, and they had children together too. She seems to have been a wonderful person, and they must have been a great team. She sang at many of his concerts, She studied the harpsichord, which was like an older version of the piano, and she probably studied organ with him too. She copied out his new pieces because this was before a time when people had printing presses or photocopiers. You had to write stuff out by hand. She managed to find time for gardening, and she loved flowers and birds. They had a lot of visitors too and used to give dinner parties. Their house must have been a noisy but fun place to be. So that's a little bit about the history of Bach. And next time in class, we're going to learn about the kind of music he wrote, and we're going to listen to some of it too, so that you guys can hear the kind of music he wrote. Some of his songs you might recognize, but some of them maybe will be new to you. All right, let's review really quickly. What's this? Quarter note. How many beats? 1. What's that? Half note. How many beats? 2. And what's that? A whole note. With how many beats? How many? 4. Good. Oh, these are out of order now. All right. Let's start with our new community song. I really hope that you guys can join us on Sunday at, oh, there we go. On Sunday at 2 o'clock, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to live stream onto our Facebook page and sing Frère Jacques. And if we all do it together, then we won't feel like we're just standing outside singing by ourselves. We might even be able to hear each other. That would be so cool. All right, let's do Frère Jacques together, guys.
Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong.
Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that it had French in it? We went over this in our class on Monday. So we'll go back and we'll sing the whole song all the way through. But for those of you who aren't in French immersion and aren't comfortable with French, let's review the words really quickly. So we have Frère Jacques. Can you say that? And then we say it again, Frère Jacques. We say dormez-vous. Can you say that? Dormez-vous. Good. And we say that again. Then we say sonnez les matines. Can you say that? Sonnez les matines. Good. Then we go ding, dang, dong. We're supposed to be sounding like bells, okay? Back in this time, well, back in older times, I guess, not everyone had clocks in their house, so people knew what time of day it was by the bells that rang in churches. Have you guys ever heard the Beaumont Church at the top of the hill with the bells? That's like what all towns used to have, and people used to know the time by that. All right, so we're going to try this again, and if you guys need to work on the French a little bit, it's going to be at the bottom of this video, okay, in the description in YouTube. All right, let's try this again. French, then English, then French, okay? All right.
Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John, morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong.
All right, very good. And I'm super grateful to Mrs. Cook for helping with the piano tracks. All right, let's move on to our second song. This is the tricky one that we just started working on. Do you guys remember Farewell to Nova Scotia? All right, so the tricky part of this song is There's so many words, okay? Again, I will put the words in the description at the bottom of the YouTube video, but we'll go over them really quickly here, okay? So I'll say them and you say them back. The sun was setting in the west. The birds were singing in every tree. All nature seemed inclined for rest, but still there was no rest for me. And then we have the chorus, and it goes, farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? And then we have our second verse. I grieve to leave my native home. I grieve to leave my comrades all, and my parents whom I hold so dear, and the bonny, bonny lass that I do adore. And then we have the chorus again. Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? All right, so you guys can play, pause, play, pause, play, pause if you need to work on the words, and they'll be at the bottom of this video. All right, let's sing this together.
The sun was setting in the west. The birds were singing on every tree. All nature seemed inclined for rest, but still there was no rest for me. Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? I grieve to leave my native home. I grieve to leave my comrades all, and my parents whom I hold so dear, and the bonny, bonny lass that I do adore. Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me?
Then Mrs. Cook goes on because there's 2 more verses, but we're just going to do the first 2 for now, okay? And remember that I'm putting words in the bottom of the link for you. All right, that's some new music for you guys to be working on, but let's go back and review some old stuff. How do you guys feel about doing This Old Man? Okay, now, full confession, I don't know if I can keep up with it, but let's try and see if we can do it, okay? And I know you guys know the actions better than I do, so if I mess up, you guys keep going, okay? All right, let's try This Old Man. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous.
This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on my thumb. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played two. He played knick-knack on my shoe. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played three. He played knick-knack on my knee. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played four. He played knick-knack on my door. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played five. He played knick-knack on my hive with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played six. He played knick-knack on my sticks with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played seven. He played knick-knack up to heaven with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played eight. He played knick-knack on my gate with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played nine. He played knick-knack on my spine with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played 10. He played knick-knack once again with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. Yay! I only forgot the rolling at the very end. Okay, you guys see if you can keep up with everything, and if you don't remember all the words, I think I got the words right. No guarantee, but I think I got the words right. Oh, my nose is so itchy, but we're not supposed to touch our faces. Sorry, guys. All right. What about cockles and mussels? Do you guys remember this? We sang it, I think, in our class on Monday. Yeah, we have time. Let's sing this song just through once, okay? Do you guys remember all the verses? Do you remember what her name is? Can you say it? I mean, I can't hear you because this is a video, but can you say it? Molly Malone, that's right. Okay. Oh, there it goes. In Dublin's fair city, where girls are so pretty, 'twas there I first met with sweet Molly Malone. She drove a wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. We're going to go back and do verses 2 and 3, but I looked at the wrong thing and I've got my words mixed up. Sorry, guys. And we're also supposed to be calling out, okay? So let's do verse 2 and 3 and I'll remember the actions. She was a fishmonger, but sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her mother and father before. They drove their wheelbarrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and nothing could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Her ghost wheels a barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Good. All right. We are going to do T for 2 really quickly, okay? Let's do T for 2. Do you guys remember that we go back and forth? Now remember, we don't turn our whole selves. We just kind of go back and forth with this. If you don't know how to snap, that's okay. You can just hit your hands together, or you could just rub your fingers together. That's fine. You don't have to be able to snap. All right, let's try this. Whoops, I almost stopped your video. Okay, let's do this. Picture you upon my knee, just T for 2 and 2 for T, just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekends vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Dear, day will break and you'll awake and start to make a sugar cake for me to take, for all my friends to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Oh, can't you see how happy we can be? Good. All right. I hope you guys have fun with this class, that you learned some stuff. Really quickly before we go, let's review this. What's this called? A quarter note. Very good. Oh, I should do it up here. A quarter note, yes? And it has one beat. What's that? A half note with 2 beats. And what's that? A whole note with 4 beats. Okay. We're going to learn some more about composers. We're going to learn some more about some parts of music. I hope you guys stay safe and you stay healthy. And next week for our class, we're going to learn some more show tunes. All right. I love you guys and I miss you. Bye.